All right, so welcome everyone. So we are here today. We're going to open up these files on a young woman. I have a feeling this woman is she has been reported missing, and I am guiding who the fuck ever. Okay, this is some new shit. So her body is not going to be in the same state as her living location. So I picked up that her body is going to be found down in Georgia. Okay, so how do I know this piece of evidence? I went to the beach today. I had plans on going to the beach earlier, but there was something intrusive going on. Like there were other things in which that I had to address first. So I kept getting this tugging feeling, this push that I needed to get out of the house. I didn't have plans on going to the beach at first, but then I decided to end up going to the beach. When I arrived to the beach, I noticed like a dead fish smell, and I could not find a dead fish on the beach. So then I was enlightened to that the body it's not going to be seen on the surface. It's going to be underground. Maybe somewhere having to do with like sewage, a tunnel, maybe a river, something like that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about her invasion because I actually had a dream about this. So it looked like it was some type of a house party. Okay, and it looked like there were a couple of guests that showed up at this house party, and the woman she was very shocked. She was afraid, but her shockness took over to the point to where she just froze. She didn't know what to do. So I saw a familiar looking man in my dream that I had met at the vape store. So I'm going to tell you about that. Now, there was something very specific about this man. You could tell that he did like hardcore drugs, like maybe meth or like Molly, something in which that has him rolling for a long time. He almost kind of looked like sickly, like maybe he had some kind of disease as well. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about this man, but I'm going to tell you about this dream first. So there was a woman. It's kind of like all of these people look the same. So when I say that, they were high out of their fucking minds. You know, I don't know. This was a different type of high. They almost looked as if they were being possessed, like they were like zombies. Everybody had the same familiar thing going on with their body, like things going on with their skin, the color of their skin. It just kind of looked off. These were black people. Okay, so a woman, a tall, dark-skinned woman, she walks in and she has on like this bob wig. She has on a black jacket with a blue undershirt, black jeans. The man that I saw in my dream, that I saw in the vape store, he had walked up first, and he had looked at this woman with a look like it was sneaky, and he was kind of like laughing. So when she saw him, she's thinking to herself, well, what is he doing here? Why is he looking at me like that? Then all of a sudden, there's like a group of people that come rushing up some stairs. And the first person that I see is this woman, and she has about 3 or 4 dudes behind her. So next thing I know is that they knock her down to the ground. And after that, I don't know what happened. Okay. So I was enlightened that they had taken her out of there. I don't know if that was that woman's home. I don't know if she was giving a party. I don't know if she was at a place to where there was a house party or what have you. Nobody was startled. Nobody looked up. Nobody looked around. Nobody looked surprised that these people had, like knocked this woman down or whatever. So that was really strange to me. Now I'm going to tell you about this guy. So I went to the vape shop. There's a guy that I usually go to, but his shop was closed. And there's another store next to me that sells them the cheapest. Now, my son, I could tell there were things going on with my son. I told myself, I said, you know what? I need to get him out of the house. So I got him out of the house. I took him to McDonald's to get his fries, and then we went to the Food Lion so I could get his cereal and something to drink for the house. While we were in that shopping center, I decided to go to the vape store there. I don't like going there because they charge too much. So, I walk in and I'm hesitant about, getting my pre-rolls. So I'm asking him different prices. There's a 3-pack that I really want, but he's telling me it's $19.99. I'm thinking he's going to charge me $22 after, for tax and all that type of stuff. The single pre-roll is $14.99. It's about $17. So I'm just like, okay. I'm irritated with the prices at this time. So right before I decide I'm going to walk off, this man out of nowhere just appears. Okay. And I'm looking at him, and I mean, he looked like a fiend. He didn't look like a noticeably fiend, but he looked like a fiend. He said, "You should get this one." So when he pointed to a package. It was OG Kush. Okay, so OG Kush is my favorite, and I didn't even see that one. I was like, oh wow. I said, okay, I'm gonna get this one. So he says, while you're at it, give me one too. So I turn to him and I tell him, I said, I'll give you one of mine. I said, but I'm not buying you a whole other pack. He said, no, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. So I said, okay. Now the price came up to 21, I want to say 95. Okay, so before I leave the store, I end up giving this dude one of my pre-rolls. Okay, he just seemed real happy about it. My thing is that I probably, the way that he rolled up on me, everything was just, you see, God be popping out. You know what I'm saying? God be popping out. Because usually I would probably be annoyed that this grown man is asking me to spend $20 on a fucking pre-roll. Like, nigga, you not even considerate with trying to get one that costs less. You trying to get one that's one of the more expensive ones. So that right there would have irritated me, and I would have said something like, really probably would have got on his ass about it, you know? But the way in which that he just appeared, I said, I wonder why God is doing this, because I knew that was God. When strange shit like that happens, when the mystery starts really mysterying, I'm just like, okay, so this is God. This is like a portal. This is going to give me some type of insight. And I mean, when you looked at him, like I said, he looked like a fiend. So most individuals probably would have been on some shit like, man, hell no, or talk some shit to him or whatever. I noticed how the cashier was watching me too. And I was just like, why is he, it's like something took over his body. It's like he just became stone. Like he was just sitting there watching. And I felt like he had some smart shit that he wanted to say, like about me not giving to this man. And I'm just thinking to myself, I do what the fuck I want to do. I came in here for one fucking pre-roll. But the better deal seems like to be the third, in my head, I'm kind of upset with him too. So I'm just like, don't you dare sit up here and telepathically, let me enter into your thoughts and hear you talking some shit. I do what I want to do. I knew that was God. So back the fuck up. So anyway, that same man that I had met was in my dream. Okay. And I mean, I asked God, I was just like, was that supposed to be some type of setup or something? Because first of all, when it comes to the marijuana, if you don't share the marijuana, you are a fucked up person. You are a fucked up ass person. If you deal with people that don't share the marijuana, they try to be stingy with it, something is definitely off. I'm trying to tell you. There is not one marijuana smoker that don't enjoy having somebody else to smoke with it or wanting to share the herb. Something is definitely off there. So, I had asked God, but God told me, God said that was actually a test. I was just like, why would you be testing me with something like that? Like, for one, I knew you sent him in for me. I knew you did that. So if I know that that's you, you always know that I'm going to come through. But it was also some type of observation because the cashier, like I said, it just kind of seemed like something had opened up in him. It's like, he left and something else stepped into him to observe me. So I'm going to tell you, that man charged me $21.95. When I checked my bank statement the next day, he had charged me $20.09. So I was just like, wow, he took off $1.90. So, that kind of let me know, like, okay, whatever was going on, obviously I passed the test. Obviously God was using that man as some type of gatekeeper. or something. You know, I believe somebody was trying to test my words when I say I really don't be caring about appearances. I don't judge people based off of their appearances, because that man looked sickly. He looked sickly. He looked ill. He looked like somebody you would just want them to get away from you, and you would just snap that they would even have the audacity to come up to you and even want to say anything to you. I told motherfuckers, stop fucking testing me. What I say is what I mean, and you will crown me again, because I got my own crown. Now you will show me my fucking respect. Stop fucking testing me with the shit in which did I say. So anyway, getting back to this woman, I don't know the details. I do know that this woman has already passed. They have already killed her. I do believe that she has a brother, a sibling, who is involved in this situation as well. I think that maybe he tried to, it's kind of like in the beginning, he didn't really care about her. He may have been under the influence of some type of drug or drinking, and he may have had things that he wanted to do, or he may have had other plans. He may have left her, or they may have agreed to meet up there. They didn't meet up, or whatever. So I believe that her co-parent is the one who may have called the authorities, because he came over to get the children, and it looked like somebody had busted in that house, and the children were very scared and frantic, and they told their father that people came in and took her. Okay, so he called the authorities. So I think that now that maybe the brother has like sobered up, what have you, I believe that he's trying to help with finding her. It's almost as if he's scared and he's panicking, because there's something about these people. I actually think that the brother actually introduced her to some people. Whatever has been going on with these people and each other, it has been going on for a while. What I pick up the most is that these individuals are very jealous of this woman that they have killed. And the thing is that she was trying to get them to go after somebody she was very jealous of herself. That's what I picked up. So anytime that I tap into anything, it has a lot to do with some type of energy manipulation, which means that individuals have been playing in some type of spell work. They've been going to some type of priests or priestesses, or they have been dibbling dabbling within that magic. So witchcraft, spell work, hexes, curses, all of this plays into this situation. My thing is that the brother pretty much knows that his sister is dead, because he knows these people. I think that he may even be worried that these people are going to come after him, because it's kind of like with them being so jealous of her, then with her having somebody who loves her, because the amount of hate that's coming from these people, from everybody in this situation. This woman wanted these individuals to do heinous acts towards somebody else, but instead they ended up doing it on her, and then they ended up robbing her too. So they may have been playing a role like they were her friends and all this type of stuff, but they were really truly waiting for a window to be able to get her. And with her brother showing that he cares and that he's worried about her, that triggers them even more. Because now they feel like they did something wrong. And with them feeling like they did something wrong, it triggers them like, oh, he's going to say something. He's going to lead them back to us, blah, 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 blah. So I have a feeling they're going to do something to that brother as well. My thing is that my attention is being more directed towards the woman. I think that they're, I mean, I don't know. I feel like because it's going to be harder to find her because her body is going to be in a different state. Okay, so we're just going to end it there. And until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.